What is up? It is Monday. I don't know what the date is. It's November. It's early. I'm leaving CrossFit. Backing out of this crappy spot. And yeah, I got a couple topics planned for the day. The morning drive back home for me is relatively short, so I'll just keep this one as kind of like the brief of what's happened, what's coming up, and we'll use the longer drives for the good stuff. I'm just trying to move my mic without turning it off. Okay. Come on, Mike. There we go. It felt like it was sliding off. And then to grab onto it, I was pressing it's very small and it's just covered in buttons. So I was like, oh no, what am I pressing? But we're okay. And it's hot in here. One sec. Sorry, I'm falling apart. Can't breathe. So I just finished CrossFit, as you can tell, because I'm literally dying. Which is good. It's a workout that was only things I'm bad at, which is the best kind of workout. If you can't sense the sarcasm, it's there. I have very bad shoulder mobility. It's not a good excuse, but in particular from bodybuilding, just because you should work on that stuff, especially for posing, but it gets neglected because it's easy to neglect. And then, your lats get tight, your chest gets tight, and it really restricts a lot of mobility. So we had to do snatches, which are an Olympic overhead movement, and overhead squats. And I simply cannot hold a bar in that position. So just a very challenging workout for me because of that, but it was good because I got to work on those things. So over the weekend, we're focused on BrandGhost development, of course. So a bunch of progress there. We're trying to launch a free tier of our tool. And I think I've explained a little bit about this before, but I want to kind of dive into a couple of the aspects, functionality under the hood. If we're talking strictly what the code does is it allows you to make posts and we can send them to different social media platforms, right? It's not really rocket surgery there. And so what's interesting though is there's a bunch of tools that do this, especially with Blue Sky becoming a lot more popular. There's a lot of tools coming out that are purely just cross posters between Twitter, Blue Sky, Mastodon, some Fediverse stuff. And it's Buffer has been around since before I started getting into social media originally. So back in 2013, they've been around for over a decade. They do cross-platform posting. That stuff is not new. And there's a lot of people that do it. Sorry, I'm fogging up in here. Let's get this under control. So it's not new, and we kind of see it as a commodity. That's not we don't think that's where we make money as a business, which sounds kind of funny because that seems the core of what we do. So we're launching a free tool that a free version of our platform that just allows cross posting for free. So you should never have to pay for any tool to post cross-platform. So that's kind of the shake-up that we're doing, because really that doesn't fit in with our business model. We think that where we add value is everything on top of that. Oh my God. The highway I see brake lights as I'm about to get on it. Crashes ahead. The whole highway on Google Maps is a solid dark red line. Oh, I just want to get home and sleep, man. I gotta sleep before I go to work. Oh, man. Good thing it's Monday. Positive vibes only. So yeah, we want to do that. We're just in the middle of like updating our pricing and stuff online to reflect that like we have this free tier, and we want people to start or shift their content creation journey over to us, basically. Oh, someone's trying to cut me off from behind. Not very smart. I realize it sounds really funny to say, but they were trying to we were on the on-ramp, and they're trying to zoom past me, and they were gonna basically cause me to stay in a lane that was gonna end. I gotta get in front of this truck. Cool. Now we sit in the traffic. So yeah, we're working on that. We think that's a big, important part of our business journey, because, like I said, it's there's a lot of tools that do that, and we don't think that's where the value is. BrandGhost, we started with what we think our value is, and that's recurring content. Posting content that's valuable yesterday, today, tomorrow, and then allowing you to repurpose that, and then leveraging AI on top of all of that to allow you to create more effective content. So we will continue down that path. We had our first TikTok post through the platform over the weekend, which is good. There's one that was in testing, so it's not public yet. There's just one more thing to take care of there. It's a very small, it has a big impact, but it's a very small thing conceptually, and it sounds kind of funny, but TikTok, their user experience requirements before they will approve your app, anyone who's about to post to the platform, they must be able to toggle 10 of these different settings that they have, and they won't approve your app unless you have that. So when you're adding content onto our platform, we have to put the options that they require. We have to include them, and it feels very silly and out of place, but if we want TikTok, we need TikTok. So when I went to go test it, it was through our new Post It Now feature, so you don't have to use a topic stream. And am I in a lane that's gonna end? What the hell is going on here? I think so. And by default, that feature doesn't include any of the extra fancy settings. And the default setting for TikTok is that, and this is just part of their requirements, is the default is that it doesn't publish. It puts it into your drafts. So we have to explicitly turn on make it public. And it's kind of funny because we went to post it and I was like, oh no, it's broken, it's not working, but there's no errors. Even TikTok said there's no errors. And then I was on my account and realized that it just went into my drafts. So anyway, TikTok will go live very soon. We just have to make sure that those features are present on that particular screen. Gotta move over lanes here. So that's cool. What else? Oh, we're gonna be doing an affiliate program. So we're just sorting that out. And that way people can earn through sharing and getting other people to register on our platform. So we think that that's an important part of our strategy as well. Obviously, the end goal with in my opinion, with any business in terms of a marketing and branding perspective is you want people talking highly about your product on their own, self-motivated, just because they love to use it. I realize that that's very, very difficult and requires outstanding product, outstanding team, just a lot of things and a lot of effort have to be in place for that. So ultimately that's the goal, but I think that there are, I don't want to say shortcuts to that because it's not my intention, but I mean, I think that there's ways that you can emulate some of that, and that's with incentivizing people to be promoting. And if you're finding people that are credible, that like will only promote things that they like to use, then I think it's a good fit and everyone wins. So we're finishing that up. Then we have a bunch of others. Like, we're at an interesting point because the more people we're talking to, especially like our core target audience, they want features that like they're not directly related to the scheduling, and we put a lot of emphasis on the scheduling aspects first on purpose, just so we wouldn't get very distracted. And now the more people we're talking to, like, they're starting to say, oh, like if you had, you know, feature X, then I would consider it. And these are some of the things that like we've talked about, we know we want to build, but like it has felt like it might distract. So I guess it's interesting to me because if we have people asking for those things, like maybe it's time, right? Like maybe it's time to actually start building them, and it's not a distraction because people said they'll use it if we have it. So other than that, there's a couple more platforms I want to make sure we have, because we're like, a lot of them are coded already, they just haven't been like polished or properly approved. So for example, my social media posts to YouTube through BrandGhost every day. So if you're on YouTube on my primary channel, every short form video you see is through BrandGhost. And that's only possible right now because YouTube has approved our application, but they have a quota that's like outrageously low. Like I think our platform could support 6 short videos in a day. So it's just like we can't turn that on for everyone because it would be so unfair. So I use it, it's constantly being tested that way. And then when we get the approval from Google, we'll turn it on. But the approval is kind of similar to like what TikTok needed. Like they have some UX requirements. Like I think we need to, theirs maybe isn't so complicated, but I think they have like branding requirements. Like the YouTube button has to be like, we can't pick a YouTube button that fits the theme of our app. It like literally has to be like their color scheme and everything. So anyway, it's gonna be interesting. But we have it's functional, just not enabled in the user interface. We have Mastodon, which is functional, but we have to change some of the login stuff because of the Fediverse and being able to log into different servers. So we got to sort that out. But like, if you were to authenticate, you could use Mastodon on our platform. So there's that. And then I think the last 2 beyond that are Pinterest and Reddit. And I am not too concerned about either of those. I think Pinterest does need an app approval though. So like that one might be just a pain in the butt because we're waiting for approval, but we'll see. But those are the last 4 like major platforms, and then we want to do like Google business pages. It's been requested. So we have to keep chipping away at those because that when you have people that are using the core part of BrandGhost, like that just unlocks functionality for everyone, right? So I just want to give you this as an example. Like I've been posting to Pinterest for like 2 years straight now. And you might say, well, Nick, like, why would you waste time posting to Pinterest? And then my argument back to you is, well, because I don't waste time posting to Pinterest. I never do anything manually for Pinterest. I've been posting to 2 years to Pinterest, posting for 2 years to Pinterest at no cost to me. I set it up once. And now BrandGhost has the ability to go post there indefinitely. And when I'm saying that, by the way, you might be confused because you might say like, well, didn't you just say it's not done? It's a little bit more complicated than that. Like I have all of my social media that you see is posting through some type of automation. So like I have built what needs to be built. It's just not integrated in the way that needs to be productized for clarity. So anyway, that's BrandGhost. And then we're still chipping away at reaching out to people, like kind of cold call style. It's just super uncomfortable, but it's the way we got to do it. We just launched our, Ryan Murphy and I just launched our second course together on Dome Train. So that's available right now. Depending when you're watching this, if you're watching it and it's like leading up to Black Friday, good timing for you, because because there's a 40% discount on Dome Train for everything, and that includes our new course. And I'm back to going to start recording maybe tonight even, if not then tomorrow, for our third course together. We got months of courses coming up, so there's no breaks really. So I'll be working on that. And I think I've said this before, but for me, course creation is going to focus all on the career stuff. I have like my YouTube channel, my primary one, Dev Leader, is for a lot more tutorials, like more polished software engineering conversations, like not me rambling stream of consciousness. So that's not changing. It's just that like my effort into a programming course is, in my opinion, not as valuable as me trying to take my 12 years of managing software engineering teams and trying to help teach people about being a better software engineer. So that's where my efforts will be, on the course creation side of stuff. I don't know how I forgot to bring this up, but I'm super stoked about it. My blog is finally migrated to Blazor. It's a little beat up. So there's a couple broken things, like my migration from WordPress over. It's kind of funny. The blog posts themselves, like I basically have to like convert them, for lack of a better word, into the new format. Now, for the most part, I can like just drop in the HTML and it's good. But there's some stuff that doesn't fit in, and it's like it gets pretty beat up. So for example, there's like this concept of shortcodes. So shortcodes are just something you drop into your blog post, and then before it gets rendered, it replaces it with like other controls, other HTML and stuff, like just reusable pieces. So Stephen Giesel did put in support for that into his Blazor blog engine, which is awesome. But I have a couple more shortcodes I have to port over. And one of the things I've noticed is like I used regular expressions for a lot of the replacement of different formatting. And there's a couple of blog posts where I guess I was using like, it's a greedy match on the regular expression. So instead of looking for the first occurrence of something and stopping, it will try to match as much as possible. And what's happening is that it's over matching, and then it trims out like entire bodies of blog posts. It's really funny. So the cool news is the way that I've set up my migration, yeah, it sounded weird. I'm able to basically just keep rerunning it. It's like idempotent, essentially. So if I come across a blog post and I'm like, oh crap, like this one's formatted wrong, I can literally just run the entire conversion process again and not worry that anything's going to break. Just super cool. So I was doing that a whole bunch over the weekend, just trying to polish stuff up. And I think one of the last things that I need to figure out is like my Google Analytics. I thought this was simple to do. I think it's just a tag, right? But like apparently it's more complicated than that. I use like a Blazor extension or like a NuGet package to try and set it all up, and I guess I'm dumb because like if you go to my blog right now, it's like, oh, there's an error on the page, it's crashed, and it's only because of this like this control. Sorry, it's not a control, it's a component. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. It's like a one line, but I feel stupid. So I got to sort that out, because then I lose all the analytics, and I would like to make sure that I maintain my analytics because I like data. But other than that, it'll be cool. Like I'll write my newsletter this week and I will put it into my new blog engine. So that's awesome. I think I ran it through GT metrics for performance, and like it's almost 100% on performance, which is cool. And then I just never have to worry about like stupid WordPress plugin updates and my site crashing. Like this morning, for example, I woke up and I had like 15 alarms from AWS. I'm not exaggerating when I say that, by the way. Like I had 15 alarms, and it's because the WordPress site is just like crashing, and then it doesn't recover. Like there's no automatic restart of the services, so it just goes down, and then my blog's done. But fortunately, last night I'd already switched it over to Point at Blazor, so that's goodness. So yeah, it feels good because like I talked about this before as well, but I'm able to make changes in Blazor and like touch any part that I want. And in WordPress, it was like I'm so far abstracted from what's going on, and there's like different plugins and stuff. Like I don't want to go touching someone's plugin code to go fix something. Like not getting into that business. So it just feels like I have a lot more control, which is a good feeling. And then I think otherwise for Dev Leader, something that I'll be doing and it's based on some like video feedback, right? So last week on Friday, I put out a video that was like a Reddit read through about someone like basically criticizing like a junior developer for being very heavy on AI usage. Maybe that'll be a good talk for this for the commute as well. But you know, a lot of people were responding in comments and stuff. It's probably I don't want to say it's my most successful video that I've ever put out, because I've had some videos that have been around as tutorials for longer and they have more views, but like this is one of my best performing videos like at launch, I guess. So I don't know if that's because I got lucky or if because people want to hear about AI more. I feel like that's a pretty relevant thing, unless you're living under a rock, of course. And I think what I want to try doing is a couple of videos where I'm just building applications, like totally using AI. I think that would be pretty fun to see. And I shared this on my like weekly check-in vlog channel, because yes, I have a third YouTube channel that's only once a week I put up a video, kind of almost like this one, documenting what I'm doing. And I was saying there, like I want to play around with a couple of different variations of those videos. One is like, so I've been programming for over 20 years. Like I have some insights because I built a couple of things. Would it be more interesting to see me try and build something with AI, assuming I don't know anything? Like basically have to use AI for every step of the way, and like kind of emulate what is it like to be a very junior developer, aspiring developer, and say, I'm gonna build stuff, but like I need the AI to do every step of it for me. Like I think that would be interesting. But another thing that I'd like to show is like, because I have been a software engineer or a software developer for a long time. I don't like saying software engineer because, well, we've talked about this before. Technically, I'm not, by my definition, I am not a professional software engineer. But would it be more interesting to see me talk about or demonstrate in a video like building with AI, using knowledge I have from my career? And then you can see the difference, right? Like, for example, if I were building something and asking, like I use ChatGPT a lot for helping with SQL queries, but like the conversations I have with ChatGPT are like, why are we doing this? Can you optimize it? Debugging with it. Whereas someone who's more junior and inexperienced, they might not even know what they should be asking it. They might not know how to prompt it effectively. And it's interesting, I'm not a good, like, air quotes, prompt engineer. Certainly, like, I don't know the ins and outs of like how to get the most out of ChatGPT and other LLMs, but I've been building software for a while, so I know what context I want to provide it, right? So I think that is a core part when we talk about, say, junior engineers like trying to lean into AI a lot, is like, if they never learn what extra context to provide it, then they're kind of going to hold themselves back long term. So yeah, I think some interesting things to explore there, so we'll see. But I am almost home. I'm going to be driving to the office today. Before I do that, of course, I'm going to nap for about an hour and a half. I'm absolutely zonked right now. I feel like last night I was sleeping and like dreaming the entire time, so it almost feels like I've been awake all night, because I have very, very vivid dreams usually. It's been like that for, I don't know, since I was like 18, I guess. That's, I think, when I went to university, I think that's when I started noticing like my dreams are just getting more and more vivid. So if I have a night like last night where I feel like, and I don't have like data to prove that I was actually dreaming the whole night, but that's how it felt. And then I feel like pretty exhausted in the morning, because it almost feels like my brain hasn't really had a time to rest. The other thing I should mention about it, like, is I very frequently, my dreams are like lucid dreams. So I have like control in my dreams, which sounds pretty cool and pretty fun, and like it is, until you're like, I just want to relax. And then it's a pain in the butt. So I got a nap, and then I'm gonna take our kitties. We got Vito and Vinny. I'm gonna nap with them. They're super cuddly. They're getting to be better with the big dog Arya. I mean, they've been fine with her mostly, but she's really good with one of them now, and the other one she tries to nom a lot. So we can't have her nomming on the cats, and we're getting there. So, okay, drive in. We'll be talking about some sent-in topics, and then I'll do the same on the drive home. So I will catch you then. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for being here. I appreciate you joining me on the drive. Take care.